Her name was Ruth. She was 83 years old and still sharp as a tack. A retired schoolteacher, she lived alone in a quiet suburb outside Chicago. Her mind was full of stories, lessons, and memories, but her body, it was tired. When Ruth came into my clinic, she didn't complain about anything dramatic. No chest pain, no emergency. Just a quiet sigh as she said, "Doctor, I'm so tired. I sleep, but I never feel rested. My knees ache. My blood pressure's creeping up. And I'm taking more pills than I can count." She looked at me, half joking, and asked, "Do you have something stronger than vitamins?" I could have prescribed something, sure. A painkiller. A new supplement. Maybe another round of tests. But something in her tone, the way her voice held both strength and weariness, made me pause. Instead, I asked her, "Ruth, how's your diet?" She laughed. "You doctors always go back to food." I smiled. Because sometimes, that's where healing begins. What I suggested wasn't radical. I didn't tell her to fast or cut calories or follow some trendy online plan. I simply asked her to try something different for just 2 weeks, a plant-based diet. Whole grains, legumes, vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, all the colorful, vibrant foods that often get pushed aside. She rolled her eyes. "No meat? At all?" "Just give it a shot," I said. "Let your body surprise you." She agreed, reluctantly. What happened over the next few weeks changed her life. Her energy returned. Her sleep improved. Her blood pressure dropped. Her joint pain eased. Not all at once, and not like magic, but like a steady sunrise after a long night. And Ruth? She came back beaming. She brought me homemade lentil soup. And she said, "Doctor, I feel younger. I feel hopeful." This video isn't just about Ruth. It's about what's possible, at any age, when we nourish the body with the food it was meant to enjoy. So if you've ever wondered, can food really help me live longer and better, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Ruth's story might sound special, but in truth, it's not rare. Every week, I meet patients like her. People in their 60s, 70s, 80s. They've worked hard their whole lives. They've raised families, paid bills, buried loved ones. And now, they face a new kind of challenge, staying healthy in a body that's growing older. Many of them feel betrayed by that body. They say, "Doctor, I used to walk everywhere. Now, stairs make me breathless. I don't remember the last time I woke up without pain. I take 5 different medications, but I still feel terrible." And I get it. Aging can feel unfair. But here's the truth no one tells them, it's not always aging, sometimes it's inflammation. It's diet. It's lifestyle. And it can be changed. You see, in the United States, nearly 80% of seniors live with at least one chronic condition, like high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, or heart disease. Over half live with 2 or more. The most common treatment? Pills. And while medication can help, and I do prescribe it when needed, what we often overlook is the role of food. Most people don't realize that every bite we take either fights disease or feeds it. Processed meats, excess salt, added sugars, saturated fats, these don't just raise numbers on a chart. They wear the body down, little by little. But when we shift to a plant-based diet, rich in fiber, antioxidants, and natural anti-inflammatory compounds, something powerful happens. The body begins to repair. To reset. I've seen patients lower their blood pressure without a single pill. I've seen blood sugar stabilize, cholesterol drop, energy return. And I'm not talking about 20-year-olds. I'm talking about your aunt, your father, your neighbor down the hall. You. Ruth wasn't the exception. She was proof. Proof that it's never too late to start healing, not by chasing youth, but by honoring your body with what it truly needs. In the next few minutes, I'll share more stories. Real people. Real changes. And the science that backs it all up. But first, let's take a closer look at what was really happening inside Ruth's body and how food made the difference. So, what really happened inside Ruth's body when she changed her diet? Let's break it down, simply and clearly. As we age, our bodies naturally go through some changes. The heart muscle becomes stiffer. Blood vessels lose elasticity. Our metabolism slows down. The immune system gets a little sluggish. And chronic, low-grade inflammation, the kind you don't feel, but that quietly damages your organs, becomes more common. This kind of inflammation is a major contributor to conditions like high blood pressure, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, and even cognitive decline. Now here's where it gets interesting. A typical Western diet, high in red meats, fried foods, refined sugars, and saturated fats, actually fuels that inflammation. It stresses the body at the cellular level. It damages the lining of our arteries. It disrupts blood sugar regulation. It makes our immune cells overreact. But a plant-based diet? It does the opposite. Fruits and vegetables are rich in phytonutrients, compounds that reduce oxidative stress and calm inflammation. Whole grains provide fiber, which helps lower cholesterol and stabilize blood sugar. Legumes like beans and lentils are packed with plant protein and slow-digesting carbs that support energy without spiking insulin. And here's the kicker. Many plant-based foods naturally boost nitric oxide production, which helps relax blood vessels, improve circulation, and lower blood pressure, all critical for aging hearts. Let me give you a visual. Imagine your arteries like a garden hose. When you're young, the hose is flexible, water flows freely. But with age and poor diet, the hose gets stiff, maybe even clogged. Blood struggles to flow. Your heart has to work harder. That's high blood pressure. Now, imagine replacing processed foods with colorful plants, nuts, seeds, and legumes. You're cleaning out that hose. You're softening the walls. You're letting the heart do its job with less strain. And yes, this is real science, not just a trend. Study after study has shown that plant-based diets can lower LDL, bad cholesterol, improve insulin sensitivity, reduce markers of inflammation like CRP, C-reactive protein, even reverse the progression of heart disease in some patients. In fact, some of the longest living populations in the world, like those in Okinawa, Japan, or the blue zones in Greece and Costa Rica, eat mostly plants. Not by choice. By tradition. And they experience lower rates of heart disease, cancer, and dementia. When Ruth ate more plants, her body began to respond. Her joints stopped screaming. Her heart didn't have to fight as hard. Her blood pressure, once climbing steadily, began to level out. And most of all, she felt it. In her breath. In her sleep. In her smile. That's the power of food. Not just as fuel, but as medicine. In the next section, I'll show you how Ruth, and many others, made this change without giving up joy, flavor, or comfort. Because healthy eating for seniors doesn't mean boring salads or bland meals. It means rediscovering the joy of food, one plant at a time. Now, if you're thinking, That all sounds great, Doctor, but what did Ruth actually eat? Let me show you. Ruth didn't become a vegan overnight. She didn't toss everything in her pantry. She started small, with breakfast. She used to eat bacon, eggs, and toast dripping in butter. Now, she makes a warm bowl of steel-cut oats, topped with banana slices, walnuts, and a touch of cinnamon. Sometimes she adds a spoon of ground flaxseed for heart health. It keeps her full. Her energy stays steady. And best of all, she actually enjoys it. For lunch, she switched from deli sandwiches to a colorful grain bowl. Quinoa or brown rice. Roasted sweet potatoes. Black beans. Spinach. Avocado. A drizzle of olive oil and lemon. It's hearty. It's satisfying. And every bite is medicine. Dinner used to be meatloaf and mashed potatoes. Now, she'll roast cauliflower steaks, toss them with chickpeas and turmeric, and serve them with a side of sautéed kale and garlic. And for dessert? She still treats herself, just differently. Frozen banana blended into a creamy nice cream. Baked apples with cinnamon. Or a square of dark chocolate with herbal tea. She didn't give up flavor. She gave up what was hurting her. And here's the thing, Ruth still shares Sunday meals with her grandkids. She just tweaks the recipes. Her chili. Made with lentils and mushrooms instead of ground beef. Her lasagna. Layered with zucchini, spinach, and tofu ricotta. You don't have to abandon tradition, just rethink it. That's what I tell all my senior patients. This isn't a punishment. It's a return to whole, real food, the kind your grandparents probably ate before fast food became the norm. And it's flexible. Don't like tofu? Use beans. Can't chew raw veggies? Roast them. Craving something sweet? There are dozens of plant-based treats that still honor your health. The key is consistency over perfection. Ruth didn't do it alone either. Her daughter helped with grocery lists. Her church friend dropped off recipes. Her doctor, well, me, encouraged her with every small win. Over time, food became less of a burden and more of a joy. In the next part, I'll tell you how her health numbers changed, but more importantly, how she changed. Her mindset. Her confidence. Her hope. Because when seniors start eating better, something beautiful happens. They stop surviving and start thriving. Let me tell you what happened, not just in Ruth's kitchen, but in her body and in her life. When she came in for her 3-month checkup, I almost didn't recognize her. She walked into my office with a smile, not a wince. She sat down without needing to catch her breath. And before I could even ask, she said, "Doctor, I haven't felt this good in years." Then we looked at the numbers. Her blood pressure, down from 152/90 to 124/76. Her LDL cholesterol, dropped by 35 points. Her A1C, the long-term blood sugar marker, now in the normal range. She'd even lost 8 pounds, not by starving, but by nourishing her body. But those were just numbers. The real transformation? It was in her eyes. She was sleeping through the night. Her knees didn't ache every morning. She had the energy to garden again, something she hadn't done in over a decade. She called it her miracle, but I told her the truth. "Ruth, you did this. You gave your body the chance to heal." That's the part so many seniors don't hear enough. It's not too late. Your body still wants to heal. Your heart still wants to beat stronger. Your brain still wants to stay sharp. But you have to give it the right tools, and food is the first tool. Now look, I'm not here to preach perfection. You don't have to become a monk or grow your own kale. Start with one meal. One swap. One simple choice. Instead of asking, what do I have to give up? Ask, what do I want more of? More energy? More years with your grandkids? More mornings without pain? Ruth is 74 years old. She didn't just lower her numbers. She reclaimed her future. And if you're watching this, whether you're 64 or 84, I want you to hear this from me, doctor to patient, human to human. You still have time. You still have power. And your next meal could be the first step toward the life you deserve. In the final part of this story, I'll leave you with practical tips, what to buy, how to cook, where to find support, and how to make this a lasting lifestyle, even if you live alone, even if you're on a budget. Because this isn't about being perfect. It's about choosing life, one bite at a time. So, how can you get started? First, let's familiarize you with some basic pantry staples that you can find in most kitchens. Grains, oats, brown rice, whole grain bread. Beans and legumes, lentils, black beans, chickpeas, you can use canned or dry. Veggies, frozen or fresh vegetables. Fruits, apples, bananas, frozen berries. Healthy fats, olive oil, nuts, flax seeds. Spices, turmeric, garlic, cinnamon, lemon. Once you have these basics in place, you can easily prepare simple, healthy meals. Breakfast, oatmeal with banana. Lunch, lentil soup or bean wraps. Dinner, roasted sweet potatoes with greens. Snacks, apple with peanut butter or a handful of almonds. Don't let cooking intimidate you. You don't need to be a master chef to create a nourishing meal. One pot, one pan, one meal at a time is all it takes. And if you live alone, start with one recipe. Call a friend over to share it. Use leftovers to save time for the next meal. If cooking feels like a chore, play some music while you cook. Make it enjoyable, make it yours. The most important thing is not to aim for perfection. It's not about having a perfectly balanced diet every single day. It's about choosing life, one bite at a time. My final message to you is this. Feed yourself like someone you love. Move like someone who still has dreams. And never, ever think it's too late. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. If Ruth's story touched you, or if you found even a small piece of hope or inspiration in these words, I'm truly grateful you stayed with me. Helping seniors live longer, healthier, more vibrant lives through simple, sustainable changes is my mission, and I hope this story reminded you that it's never too late to begin again. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps more people like you find stories that matter, stories that heal, inform, and uplift. And don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, or share this with someone who needs to hear it today. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring the real-life journeys of older adults who are finding strength, health, and joy, one day at a time. Take care, and be kind to yourself.